Hello, good evening everyone. Suswagatam, welcome. Hope you are doing great. So, welcome you all in today's 34th Expert Talk live session. And we are thankful to all of you for your amazing response till now. एंड ऐसे ही हम आगे बढ़ते रहेंगे, ऐसे ही हम एक्सपर्ट्स को बुलाते रहेंगे हमारे इस सेशंस में. तो without taking much time, let us invite today's first today's our expert. Yeah, so Mr. Sheik Mohideen is our today's expert, who will be speaking on opportunities for mechanical engineers in oil and gas industry.
Good evening,
Hi.
Vipul.
Hi, good evening. Welcome. Suswagatam.
Thank you, Vipul. Thank you very much for organizing such a wonderful event. And
Yes.
I have seen a lot of your videos, the past videos from experts from different sector and industry. And you are doing a wonderful job. This will be inspiring for many young graduates, those who are seeking to their particular to their field. And it's amazing. The amazing
Thank you
project.
so much. Thank you for the appreciation. Your appreciations and your participation matters a lot, because to share the experience with audience is a to someone is a great spirit. वो एक अच्छी भावना है, and we salute to your spirit कि आप अपना experience audience के साथ today's generation के साथ share करना चाहते हैं. So thank you
Thank you.
so much for joining in today's session, and let us start the session.
Okay, okay.
So as you know, today's topic is opportunities for mechanical engineers in oil and gas industry. So
Yeah.
before starting the session, let us hear more from you. Please give us your introduction. Tell us something about your life journey, about
Okay.
you and your experience.
Fine.
So over to you.
Yeah, as you might have seen that my name is Sheik Mohideen Jainulabdeen, and I'm from Tamil Nadu, southern part of India, and I have graduated on 2006 from Anna University as a mechanical engineer. And after that, I have started my career in DCPL, the company called the Development Consultants Private Limited. Those were they are dealing more with the power plants and the nuclear plants. I spent 4.5 years in Chennai. I have worked in Chennai branch because they are based on Kolkata. And after that, I have moved to Saudi Arabia. I have spent almost 7 years over there. Then Bahrain, 3 years. Now ended up in UAE, United Arab Emirates. And I'm here almost 1.5 years working here as a lead mechanical engineer. I have worked from different industry like power plant, as well as oil and gas, petrochemicals, and also marine engineering. So a different blend of engineering which are related to each other. So I have worked all the industries and mostly into the design and engineering, the project management. I have worked in that sector. So this is all about me. I'm almost 16 years going to complete this year.
Very good, very good. We wish you all the best for your bright future, and your spirit
Thank
is
you.
amazing. Keep inspiring others like this.
Sure. Thank
And the next question is, give us overview of oil and gas industry. How is the industry,
you. Yeah.
and what anyone should look after this industry.
Sure. Actually, many people think that oil and gas industry usually uh, they used to think that this is too much attrition rate is there. Many people are reluctant. This field is very reluctant, and many people are fighting like that. Some bad images has been created among the young graduates. Those who are asking, those who are want to into the field, they might have think that okay, if they ask some people, those who have worked in the oil and gas field, okay, usually people say don't come to this field. This is not the job security is not sure, and you may end up with jobless. So this is common and everywhere. Actually, many people are thinking that okay, from their field and they look other field that other field is much better. But those, if you are asking to that particular field, then you came to know that their troubles and their challenges. Every field, every sector, every job has its own challenges as well as the own risk and its own benefit as well. Hope you agree with my point, right?
Yes, yeah, yes, you are absolutely right.
Yeah.
Everything has a two sides. So
Yes,
that's
exactly.
true. That's true.
That's
That's
true.
true.
And most probably, so when it comes to particularly into the oil and gas field, uh, as per today's market, it's a $5 trillion revenue, not the turnover. It's just a revenue all over the globe. So it is the amazing sector, and it has the different, the people used to, you might have heard that upstream sector, midstream, and downstream. There are the three sectors in the oil and gas field. Upstream means you might have heard that the oil well, right? Rigs, offshore rigs, onshore rigs are there, as well as the midstream. Midstream is usually the transportation and storage of the crude oil, transportation as well as storage, and refining. Refining means finally what we are using now, like the gasoline, petrol, diesel, and whatever the byproducts of crude oil, whatever we are using, we will get through the refineries, like Jamnagar refinery close to you, right? The Reliance Industries Limited, and there are multiple refineries in India, all over the India is there. These are the three sectors that plays majorly into the oil and gas field. And this is the sectors inside oil and gas field. And during that oil and gas field, so you can see the design and engineering. Like for example, when you are going to build your house, you have the land, you have the fund with you. Then, if you want to proceed a project, means you will get the opinion from the expert, right? Like the architect or a civil engineer who is building the structure. The same way, the companies, those who are the owners, they might have their own designers, or they might have design consultant, or they will hire from someone from the outside the companies. There are different ways of design is there to do the project. That's the design and engineering. Then it comes to operation and maintenance. Once the plant is built, the operation and maintenance, and then once the product is finished, then distribution and marketing. Like this is the big cycle, like the crude oil which we are getting from the rigs, the raw crude which we are getting from the rigs, until we are fueling our vehicle into our the petrol or diesel, whatever we are fueling into our vehicle. So through that, the complete process is there. So we have the opportunity not only for engineers, we have the opportunities for all the sectors, like the consultants, the engineers, and the designers, as well as the operation people, the maintenance, those who are into the maintenance, and some technician jobs like inspection, testing, and quality control department, even the procurement, as well as accounting and marketing, as well as all the department is covered. It's a kind of complete supply chain network, which comes from the crude, raw crude, until the final fluid, final petrol or diesel. The complete cycle is it gives the plenty of opportunities around the world. So this is the, and you might have heard that onshore project is separate, offshore project is separate. So this is the complete sector which is gives a lot of opportunities to the people around the world. And once you get the enough experience into that, one means then your level of earning also high, like a bamboo tree. Because for example, those who are entering into the initial field, they won't get enough salary or the basic pay as the engineers who got in other industry like software like that. They will get the less pay when compared to other software sector, I'm telling you. But once you get experienced for 3 years or 5 years and all, then your pay will get more according to your experience and your expertise, and how much you have learned through your experience. This is what I used to advise to the people those who are aspiring for the oil and gas sector.
Wow, well,
How did
well,
you feel?
well covered, well, rightly said. You
Yeah,
just nailed it. So,
yeah,
moving on with the next question.
yeah.
Yeah, and audience, you can also ask your live questions. We will definitely cover that at the end of the session. So, please participate and please do ask your live questions. So, the next question is, what is the current market demands, uh, according to you?
The market demand. Okay, see, the market demand usually. As I told you, the oil and gas market usually up and down always. See, at this start, the month start, the crude oil price is 105. Okay, and now just after 140 days, it is 122. Today's date. You get my point. The crude oil per barrel price is it's almost $17 increased in a month of in a span of 40 days. Okay, so there's a fluctuations is always there, and due to COVID, yes, due to COVID scenario, COVID times, many sectors you heard that so all the sectors are got affected. The same way, oil and gas industry also, because there is no demand, so all the oil producers they are reduced their production level, and the many people suffered, and the many people lost their jobs. So this is common. It has happened in every sector. The same way it happened in the oil and gas sector as well. And many projects, those who are under construction or those who are about to award, all the projects are hold. So now, after now, every country started relaxing their COVID restrictions and everything. So all the companies are started releasing their projects, and you can say it's going on a full swing. What I heard from my fellow engineers and my colleagues and my friends, those who are in this field, there is a huge demand at this moment. Actually, even all the companies they are flooded with the projects, and some companies they can't able to accept more projects because they are already overflow. Their manpower couldn't able to handle more projects. So the current at this moment, at the current scenario, the demand is high. The job openings are very high, as well as the sector is fully flourished with a lot of projects, and even we used to say the greenfield projects and brownfield projects. So those the difference between greenfield is completely new project in the starting from the scratch. If it is a brownfield means it's an existing plant like the old plants. They are modifying something. They are adding another additional capacities to that plant, or they are increasing their capacities, or do some modifications for the because due to the safety regulations, or any they are replacing some equipment. That means the brownfield projects. We used to say the both the sector. Some of the existing operating plants also they have started giving more projects, in-house projects also. So the sector is now is booming. So hopefully, we hope it's going in the same way for the rest of the years to come.
Very, very rightly said. Let's hope for the best. Let's be positive.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, moving on with the next question.
yeah,
Uh, what is the scope for any engineering graduates,
yeah.
particularly in oil and gas industry?
Okay. Generally speaking, the engineering graduates, okay, we have scope for all the engineers, including software engineers. I'm saying those who are into the computer science, because many people have thought that only the mechanical, electrical, and the core engineering department, civil and structural. Some people have heard that civil people don't have scope. No, not like that. All of them are having their own scope, including those who are into IT field, as well as the computer science department and the communications department. All have their own scope. See, nowadays all the plants, like for example, the mechanical guys, mechanical engineers, they used to handle the different designs, the design phase as well as operation and maintenance. When it comes to any oil and gas plant, the job sector divided into multiple nature of the work. For example, first is design and engineering, then second is operation and maintenance, and then the procurement. Then it comes to quality control department. There are different departments are there to get into that field. So how your potential, what is your interest, is based on completely on your interest. So every engineer is like, for example, the communication engineer, all the plant is now remotely controlled. All the plants nowadays it's under remotely controlled in a the centralized control unit. Different companies called different terms, but usually the centralized control unit, we can operate each and every operation of the plant from the central control unit. This is completely remotely controlled. For this, the telecommunications. We used to call the telecommunication engineers. So the communication engineer requirement is there, and as well as for whatever the equipments, for example, mechanical equipments as well as the operating equipments. So these are the things which are used in the project. Okay, so for electrical engineer, scope is there for instrumentation and control, and every engineer graduates, they have their own scope on the oil and gas industry into the different sectors, like the procurement engineer. For example, if they want to buy any procurement, for example, if any plant they want to procure some pump, means that procurement engineer they have an idea about the particular equipment, then only they will go for the buyer, the vendor, to get the correct quote for that particular equipment and then submit to the management. So this even the accounting department, as well as I told you about the software companies, those who are developing their own softwares to control the plants. So the many software companies have been signed with the oil and gas operators, means oil and gas companies. They are developing their own softwares. For that, they need some mechanical inputs to handle the engineering inputs to handle that. So they club together. Most of the majority of the oil and gas software companies, they are hiring the core engineering graduates to work for such an oil and gas projects. Not only oil and gas projects, some other related industries that I will cover later. So these are the things. Every engineering graduates, they have their own scope for that particular scope.
So very rightly said. So that's a misconception that only mechanical or any particular stream has a scope into this oil and gas industry. Every
Yeah.
industry, every engineering student has a equal opportunity in this industry. So now
Correct.
moving on a particular, since you are a mechanical engineer and you are into this industry since so long and you
Yeah.
are doing amazing. So just want to know what is the scope particularly for mechanical engineers in oil and
Okay.
gas industry?
Fine. So as I told you, there are different sectors are there in the oil and gas industry. First, I will cover the design and engineering, where I belongs to. Okay, so the design and engineering means okay, when we are constructing a new plant, as I told you before, the greenfield project as well as the brownfield project, we will develop some engineering packages as well as that includes some specification, how the equipment, how the plant and plant equipments needed. Then we will develop the packages as well as we will coordinate with the vendors, and we will develop the drawings and all the 3D models, everything. This is the part of design scope where the mechanical engineers can work. This is the design phase. We used to call it the design phase. Even in that itself, we have a different sector of design department is there. For example, to handle the rotating equipments, static equipments, packaged equipments, the piping, and the structural. So they have a lot of opportunities inside the design department. Mechanical engineers can choose based on their interest. So this is under design phase. Then when you are moving into the operation and maintenance, okay, the running plants. So the running plants, they are also having their own mechanical department to manage the operation as well as the maintenance. So any equipment has to be replaced, means they're in-house. They need some in-house department to maintain that plant, which is in order, and the periodical maintenance. There are some certification also there, certified maintenance and reliability professional like that. So if you are certified that for that particular field, means then you are a reliability engineer. You can say the maintenance engineer or a reliability engineer to maintain that particular plant. This is common for any plant, not only oil and gas plant. I mean the petrochemicals or power plant. This is very common. This is operation and maintenance, as I told you. Then when it comes to the procurement sector. Okay, if there is a design company also, if there is an in-house, oil and gas company, the owner also, or during the operation phase also, there is a need of a procurement engineer. We might have heard that purchasing officer, procurement officer like that. Here in this field, we need a procurement engineer, those who have the knowledge about the procurement to deal with the vendors, to deal with the clients. At the same time, they have to have a knowledge of engineering as well for the particular equipment, whatever they are dealing with. That is the procurement engineer. Usually, the mechanical engineer usually to deal with the mechanical equipments. There should be a mechanical procurement engineer. Then after that, quality control. Whatever the once the project is completed, they need to verify whether this whatever the equipment is installed is perfect or not. Means there is a quality control department. There is a need for mechanical engineer as well. And once the project is completed, before operating and maintenance, there is a construction and commissioning engineers. Those who are working actually working on the site. What I told you is design and engineering. After that, it will come that construction and commissioning engineers. In that, like every other department, mechanical, they have their own scope for the construction and commissioning works. Then operation and maintenance will come. Then along with the all during all the phases, procurement engineers, assistants also there. So these are the major areas where mechanical engineers can explore into inside the oil and gas industry.
So very well summarized. The four most important question now is
Yeah.
how to get into entry into the oil and gas industry. What
Yes.
was your story? What inspired you? How you
Yes.
got into this industry?
Yeah, as I told you before, during my introduction, my first company was not an oil and gas company. My first company, yes, throughout my career, I was into the design engineering as well as the project management sector. But my first company, unfortunately, is not an oil and gas company. It's a completely dealing with the power plant, power projects. Uh, Coal-based power plants and nuclear power plants. We have done a project for Tamil Nadu Electricity Board as well as Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research. We have done a project for that. So this is completely power projects. But when I got the next job in Saudi Arabia, I got an opportunity to work with oil and gas industry. So the nature of work, whatever I have done for the power plant during the design engineering field, this is common in all the plants, not only oil and gas industry, petrochemicals or normal chemical plants, even some food processing industry or utilities plant. So major wherever you go, pump is a pump, right? So some design parameters will change based on the liquid we are handling, right? The pump which we are using for in our home, it's just to pump the water. Okay, it's a domestic purpose water, a domestic purpose pump. And then whatever the pump we are using in the industrial, means we are handling the different fluids and different chemicals. Some chemicals are very harmful, so there is no leakages allowed. That should not be should not expose to the atmosphere. Some safety measures we have to do. So that kind, the regulations as well as the standards we should follow is completely different. So the basic principle of operation of pump is common everywhere. But this is what to get into back to your question, how to get into the field means you have to know about the field first. And like many companies, okay, getting into we have a multiple number of software companies in India, especially in southern side. I'm talking about my the Chennai and Bangalore, the southern side. We have many people they want to go there. They want to explore into the software industry. So if their interest means that's okay, that's fine. But they are not most of the people even they want to explore the oil and gas field. You have some companies, some famous engineering design engineering companies as well as the government companies like the engineers India Limited, they and as well as the Reliance Industries and CPCL, the petrochemicals company, which is based in Chennai, they are recruiting freshers through the exam, normal procedure, whatever how the government companies are recruiting the freshers. The same way they are recruiting the freshers on their own pattern. So we have to be the engineers, those who are passing out, they have to watchful if they really want to enter into the field. So they have to approach those companies and they have to search for, they have to follow their companies in the LinkedIn or whatever the social media they have. So they will definitely they will post that these are the, we are conducting the recruitment for the freshers for this batch and that for example 2022 batch or 2021 batch, those both of them are eligible for this recruitment campaign, so you can apply for that. So you have to very careful to watch that companies. And some small sector of companies are there, those who are doing the engineering design works for a subcontract from, because there are some major engineering companies there. They will award some scope of engineering works to those small companies. So we have to list it down where what are those companies. If, for example, what I'm telling is, if they didn't get the opportunity from the top tier companies, not everyone gets the top tier companies. Hope you know that, right? Not everyone can get into that top tier companies. So they might have looked for the what are the tier two companies. They have to list it down. What are the companies are there in their own city, or what are the companies close by their cities. So they have to list it down. These are the companies are into oil and gas sector or petrochemical sector. They are doing this kind of maintenance jobs, or they are doing this kind of design jobs. They have to list it down. They have to approach them whether they are recruiting any recruiting freshers or like that. So initial days, yeah, yes, definitely it will be tough when compared to other industries, because in oil and gas industry, uh, people will you know once you get experience, your means your pay and everything will be very high. But to get that experience, it's quite tough. It's common in every field, every sector of the industry, but it's more stringent when it comes to oil and gas industry.
Very rightly said. So it's entry is tough, but once you get into it, you
Yes.
can, yeah. So the next question is, what are the skills required, to get in entry into this industry? Any particular skill or anything you would like to suggest to the audience that what they
Okay.
should follow,
Yeah. Okay. Some of the, see, majority of the people, those who are asking me, okay, I want to study this, I want to learn this software. There are many softwares are there tool for the mechanical, like piping, those who are using for the piping, and for to verify the equipment like the PBL8 software for the pressure vessels and tanks and all, as well as the PDS, PDMS for those who want to learn the piping drawing, 3D models and everything. Stat Pro. There are number of softwares are there uh, to get into the for the mechanical engineers, particularly mechanical engineers. There are some other softwares for the electrical, say ETAP for the electrical, those who are working in the electrical field. There are many softwares out there. So the problem with that software means, okay, the people are spending huge money on the software, but it will be fruitful if you are actually working on the software. For example, if you are working for some company, that company is particularly using some particular software. Means, okay, you learn that software outside, and if actually using in the project, means it will be very good. If not, you know what happened after you have learned for after okay, you completely studied that particular software and you are certified for that particular software, and you didn't use for 3 to 6 months, then you will forget. This is the problem with the mechanical softwares and whatever the softwares we are using. It's actually, it's a, it's not a coding kind of things, or it's a completely modeling. Okay, the 3D modeling and analyze the piping stress and everything is there, every stuff of whatever the things. So
so you
if
need to
you,
keep upgrading yourself.
exactly. And one more thing, there are some certifications out there. So, like I said before, so there is a need for project management. There is a project management is very crucial. The project management sector is very crucial throughout the project, throughout during the design phase also, during the construction phase also. The role of project management is very crucial. Those who are into oil and gas industry, as well as they are very aspirant about the project management, they can do the certification. Okay, there is an institute called Project Management Institute, PMI. They're originally from USA. So they are conducting some variety of certification courses for the with regards to the project management, like CAPM. CAPM is the basic course, Certificate Associate of Project Management. So in that course, you don't need experience. For other certifications, you need to have a certain amount of experience, like Project Management Professional (PMP). This is very common certification everywhere. Every sector they can do. Not only into those who are into oil and gas, all the people, those who want to into the project management, they can do the PMP, the project management professional. But if you want, The eligibility criteria is you need to have a 3 years, like 36 months continuous working experience. You have to be there on the project management sector. Then only you are eligible for that to apply for that certification. Or before the, for example, young engineers, those who are completed 1 or 2 years experience, yes, they can have this CAPM, certificate as certificate of project management. This course, this certification, they can get it from the PMI Institute, and then they move forward to their career into the project management sector. These are the some certifications. Like I told you before, for the maintenance professional, the certified maintenance and reliability professional, there is a certification. Mainly, they are certified reliability engineer. Those who are checking the reliability of the plant. So those who are into operation and maintenance, they can do
So
that certification.
So very rightly said, certifications are there, and on top of it, you need to keep upgrading yourself, keep
Yes, exactly.
practicing. That will make you more perfect into this industry. Now,
Baseline is you have to, your cup has to be empty always. You always has to learn. That's it.
true, true, true. That hungerness to learn new
Yes,
things
yes,
should be always there.
very true.
Very rightly said. So now moving on with the one of the last question,
Okay.
that other related industries like chemical, petrochemicals, powers, and renewable energies, etc. What is the scope for engineers there, or what is your advice for those who are not having so much keen interest into oil and gas industry? So
Okay.
what is your advice for them?
Okay. So basically, the during the design phase as well, during the construction and everything, almost you can say 70 to 80% of the nature of work. What's the nature of work will be the same in all the plants, like oil and gas industry, chemical plants, petrochemical plants, and power sector. The equipments are different. Only the fluids, the equipments will be the same. Whatever the fluids you are handling, what purpose you are making. Some will be the powder product, some will be the liquid product. Okay, some will be the solid material, bulk material. We used to say the bulk materials. Some are grains. So how we transfer that products, so that will be the difference. So for that purpose we will use the different equipments and different strategy and different process methods to achieve those products. As a ground rule, the engineering phases we used to call the basic engineering, front end engineering design, and then detail engineering, and then after that it will go for the construction and commissioning. All these process are very common for all the plants, even for the food processing industries or distillation industries. So all this process is the ground rule. This is common for all the industries. Okay, so for example, you gave, okay, one engineer was get into the oil and gas field, and he was into the design sector. Okay, design and project management. Then finally, if there is some issues, he don't want to continue in the oil and gas sector. Okay, he can switch into the petrochemical sector, or power plant industries, or chemical industry, even food processing industries. So if you have experience in oil and gas sector, means it will be easy for you to get into that other field, that which has the same nature of job. But you have to understand the process of that particular plant, like the chemical plant, wherever you are going to work. If you are switching from oil and gas to another sector, means you have to understand the process. What is the process they are doing it, how you can adapt to that environment, that you have to do it. But the basic working philosophy and the procedures and everything will be same.
Very, very well covered, very well said. So, one of the viewer, Mr. Varun Patel, is having one question. So, if you can, I think there is something specially related to company. So, if you can answer it, if you want to avoid it, then that's also fine. But he is
Okay.
asking for some company, that what is the order value
Okay,
for this
company.
particular company
Okay,
project. Yeah.
so this is completely related to my companies. So I
Yeah,
can
so
explain.
I think that will be something confidential, or something subject matter of, yeah, compliance.
Yes,
You
exactly.
So let's avoid that. Now, thank you so much for your amazing insight, amazing value sharing and knowledge sharing. So,
Yes.
as per our tradition,
Yeah.
please let us know your final words, your story which inspire you,
Okay.
anything, any motivational, mantra which you follow day in day out.
Okay.
Please let us know your final words, to our audience.
Okay. Fine. So, my final word to the audience. Okay. First thing is keep learning. Okay. If you don't know anything, and this is what my first manager they used to tell me, if you don't know anything, you accept that I don't know. The next day, but next day don't say the same answer. You get it?
So doing mistake is not a
It's good.
crime, but repeating is a crime. That is
Yeah,
what.
yeah, exactly. So keep learning. Always your cup empty to learn more. This is common for all those who are not only into this field. So, but it's more important in oil and gas sector because uh, the technology is changing. Whatever the equipments what we are using 10 years back is not using. That's why the companies they are modifying their plants. They have more works are coming. So, if you want to do that particular kind of work, you have to be update yourself with that technology. So this is very important when you are into this field. You have to update yourself continuously. What is the market trends? How the market is going on? So what they are expecting, for example, the mechanical engineer, what they are expecting from me, then I have to change myself accordingly. At the same way, each and every engineer, what is how the companies are expecting. Not only those who are into the freshers, not only companies are checking aptitude or attitude test or personality. No, now they are asking more questions because the technology is widespread. Okay, if you open the YouTube, you can get the complete story about what the oil and gas plant is doing. So you can get the complete information within half an hour. So the companies are expecting, okay, you are that much interested into that field. If you are going for any interview and all, do research about that company and on their nature of works and what they are expecting from you, whether you can fulfill whatever the job description they have given, you can fulfill those requirements. If you can't means, then learn it to apply even for not for this company, the next company you can learn it. This was the thing. So you have to update yourself continuously if you want to survive in this field. Yes.
Very rightly said. Keep your cup empty. Say, learn to say no, and don't repeat your mistake. I'll take it as a final words from you. Thank you
Okay.
so much. We wish you all the best for your bright future, and
Thank
we
you.
wish to see you again and again
Sure.
with us with a different your expertise. आप ऐसे ही अपना experience share करते रहे. And
Yeah.
audience, you can keep in touch with our expert on his LinkedIn profile. This is the LinkedIn profile. You can follow him there. अगर आपको कुछ क्वेरी है तो आप उनको डायरेक्टली लिंक्डइन में अप्रोच कर सकते हैं. आप ये जो सेशन है ये यूट्यूब में हमेशा के लिए रहेगा, तो आप उसमें भी कभी भी कुछ भी क्वेरी है, यू कैन ऑलवेज कम एंड यू कैन आस्क. वी विल डेफिनेटली ट्राई टू कवर योर क्वेरीज. So thank you once again. Keep in
Thank you, sir.
touch. Take care.
Sure.
Stay blessed. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Have a good day.
Yeah. यस ऑडियंस, होपफुली आपको काफ़ी अच्छा लगा होगा. ऐसे ही जुड़े रहिए. एवरी ऑलमोस्ट वी आर ट्राइंग टू कम एवरी फ्राइडे 5 p.m. विथ आर एक्सपर्ट्स ऑन, जो आके आपको उनकी एक्सपर्टाइज शेयर करेंगे, अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करेंगे. सो do join us, do follow our YouTube channel Vipul the Wonderful. Press the bell icon to get the regular updates. And if you are watching it on Facebook और YouTube और LinkedIn, तो आप वहाँ पे भी हमें सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, फॉलो कीजिए, ताकि आपको हमारे रेगुलर अपडेट्स मिलते रहे. एंड दिस वॉज 34th सेशन, एंड वी विश टू कंटिन्यू दिस जर्नी एज लॉन्ग एज पॉसिबल. बस आप ऐसे ही जुड़े रहिए, ऐसे ही मोटिवेट करते रहिए. हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल पे बाकी के जो भी 33 सेशंस हुए अभी तक के, वो सारे भी अवेलेबल है. आप उनको भी देख सकते हैं, अपने फ्रेंड्स एंड फैमिली में भी शेयर कर सकते हैं. यू नेवर नो कौन सा नॉलेज, कौन सा एक्सपीरियंस किसको काम लग जाए, या किसकी क्वेरी सॉल्व हो जाए. यू नेवर नो. सो ऐसे ही जुड़े रहिए. कीप ट्यूनिंग इन ऑन विपुल द वंडरफुल. थैंक यू. This session was powered by Post Resume. We are a recruitment consultancy since 2007, providing HR consulting services across India, Africa and Gulf. अगर तो आप कोई करियर गाइडेंस की आपको ज़रूरत है तो यू कैन कनेक्ट विद अस. वी विल डेफिनेटली हेल्प यू एज मच एज पॉसिबल. अगर if you are looking for talent solutions for your organization, then do connect with us. We can definitely help you with the best of talent available in the market. एंड अगर आपको लगता है कि आप में वो काबिलियत है, आप में वो एक्सपर्टाइज है कि आप अपना नॉलेज लोगों के साथ शेयर करना चाहते हैं, तो डू पिंग मी राइट अवे. आप डीएम कीजिए, मुझे पर्सनली कनेक्ट कीजिए एंड अपना इंटरेस्ट बताइए. वी वुड डेफिनेटली would like to have you on with us, and we would like to have your experience in front of our audience. आपका एक्सपीरियंस ऑडियंस के साथ शेयर करेगी तो हमें काफ़ी अच्छा लगेगा. सो थैंक यू वंस अगेन. स्टे ट्यून्ड, जुड़े रहिए. सी यू नेक्स्ट फ्राइडे 5 p.m. in our expert talk show live sessions. Thank you. Stay blessed. Bye bye from Vipul the Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah.